the experience of writing about Churchill is like climbing some mountain and thinking you've reached the summit, and then there's another peak glimmering above you, because he just did so much.
And presumably lots of things surprised you in the course of your research. I mean, what surprised you most about Churchill?
I think his method of production of articles and text generally was quite extraordinary. I don't know any human being who is capable of doing what Churchill used to do. We all know he drank a pint of Pol Roger a day, right? Everybody is aware of that. And he began the day with a weak whiskey and water and all the rest of it. But at dinner, he would have a full meal with white wine, red wine, then brandy and liqueurs. And then at 10 o'clock, he would go into his study and pace up and down, and he would compose absolutely brilliant stuff until 3 in the morning, 2 or 3 in the morning. And I don't know, maybe there's people here who can do it, but I don't know any journalist today, Gabby, even on the Daily Telegraph, who are capable of composing. I mean, after lunch is fine. Anybody can do it after lunch, even with a bottle of wine. But after
Don't ask
dinner,
what Boris has for lunch.
After dinner is extraordinary, and with that method, he was able to win the Nobel Prize for Literature, get more entries into the Dictionary of Quotations than virtually any other 20th century author, and to write more words, not just than Dickens, not just than Shakespeare, but more words than Dickens and Shakespeare combined.
Yeah, well, which begs the question of what we can take from him today, right? I mean, in a way, if he's so unique, it's hard to know what lessons can be learnt, and also just how it translates. For example, I mean, it's impossible to know, I suppose, but the question of whether there's an equivalent danger today to the Nazi threat, or even
you mean like in the Middle East or something like that?
Yeah, one that perhaps we haven't quite seen clearly enough. I mean, is there some sense in which his holding that view that seems to us to be the obvious view, but in fact at the time was an unpopular view, can enlighten us about the situation we're in now?
Would he have got involved in Iraq? I don't know. I would he have been. I think. Don't forget, he hated British involvement in Iraq to begin with. I mean, he said said it was like living on an ungrateful volcano, and he wished we'd never gone there, and he hated the place. And he tries to hand over the mandate for Palestine not just to America at one point, but another point in the 20s, but to Belgium, which was completely bizarre. So he didn't have I think he would have been in favour of air power. In
airstrikes, against ISIL, for example.
I think airstrikes, but not boots on the ground, is my hunch about where he would have been, because he wasn't necessarily obsessed with foreign entanglements.
Did Churchill wear pink silk underwear? Is my question.
Did he wear silk underwear? He did wear silk underwear. I could not tell you what colour it was. I'm looking at Warren now. Do we know, Warren, what colour his underwear? It was definitely silk. I'm afraid he was a man who loved luxurious things, and the stuff he took with him to the First World War was quite unbelievable. Baths and Fortnum and Mason pies and God knows what. And he took so many baths, in fact, that his skin was pinkish in complexion, and maybe that's what you're thinking of.
So, thank you all very, very much for coming. And Boris, thank you.